This is the Extra Point Podcast.
All right, back for week 3 on Arizona's Family New York Knicks picks. He hasn't broken my legs yet. Nick, how we looking?
I'm doing great, Mark. Look, I'm being transparent here. My first losing week of the season. It's midway point of the season. Nothing wrong with that, right? 1-3 last week. But look, I think it's a good reminder for your listeners and your viewers, because I'm sure most of them are just retail players. We're having fun here. Look, it's a 50-50 proposition over the long haul. It's not like the casino where the book actually has the edge statistically. It's a 50-50 proposition. So for a guy like me who puts in a lot of work and follows certain statistics, you can get 55%, 57%. But remember, even 57%, which is great, I mean, that's profitable. Yeah, there's 43 losses there, right? There's going to be a stretch where you go 1-3 or 3-7. Look, when I started out 11-0, I said, guys, it's coming, right? 14-1, I said, don't expect me to be 28-2 after 30 games. Last week, coming into the week, 19-4. Come on, guys, it's coming. It came, 1-3, but I'm 20-7 on the season. Hey, I'd give my left pinky for 20-7 if you told me before the season. I mean, Mark, what am I going to do with my left pinky anyway? Wait, don't answer that. Rhetorical question.
Well, I mean, what do? You eat some rigatoni, some stromboli, you get out the brass knuckles.
I got some pasta out of the
bowl. You have it. Cardinals this week. What do you feel? Is the left pinky feeling any luck for the Cardinals headed up to the Great White North to take on the Minnesota Vikings?
Look, I liked how the Cardinals looked in their game versus the Saints. Really good usage with DeAndre Hopkins. 14 targets, 10 catches, over 100 yards. Kind of phased out Rondale Moore a little bit. But look, they put up 42. Going into that game, surprisingly enough, in their prior 3 games, Arizona was 4th in the league on defense in yards per play. Now, that game got a little crazy with the interception returns, and then that kind of changed the game script. But Arizona's defense, look how they've done against number 1 receivers, okay? Cooper Kupp, 4 catches for 44 yards. A.J. Brown of the Eagles, 3 catches, 32 yards. DK Metcalf, 2 catches, 34 yards. Devontae Adams, 2 catches and 12 yards. What is going on there? So Justin Jefferson, obviously that's going to be a key to stop. But I'm really fading the Vikings here. Check this out. This is kind of an anomaly, and this is what you look for when you're handicapping. Vikings are 5-1. They're 3rd worst in the league in yards per play on defense. Last in the league in yards per pass attempt on defense. Could be a good day for Kyler Murray and you fantasy football fans out there. DeAndre Hopkins. But what I find curious is this. They're on a 4-game winning streak. You know, in the NFL, you don't get a lot of long winning streaks or losing streaks for that matter. In the last 3 games, they've been outgained in yards per play. They've averaged 5.3 yards per play. They've given up 6 yards per play. In 2 of those games, flat out dominated. So statistically, they haven't been playing like a winning team, but yet they've been winning. I think that reverses this week. And you're getting 4 points on top of it. I like the Cardinals this week. A little regression to the mean. 5-1 versus 3-4. Maybe comes to 4-4 and 5-2 after this week. I like the Cardinals. Take those points this week.
And Kirk Cousins is like the great enigma. When you look at him, what kind of story does he tell you from a wagering perspective?
Well, you want to fade primetime Kirk Cousins, but it's funny that you mentioned that, because I was talking to your producer before last week's game, which was kind of a toss-up, and I said, look, Andy Dalton, Jameis Winston, we don't even know who's starting. I said the one constant in my mind is Kyler Murray. I know he's going to gain yards on the ground. He's an electric player. I know he could be a little enigmatic himself, but he's an electric player. I'd rather put my money with him than with Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston. Kind of the same this week. Getting points with Kyler Murray. Great against the spread record as an underdog. I know, it's only, his 4th year, but still, I'll put my money on Kyler Murray as a dog against Kirk Cousins. I feel comfortable in that situation.
And nobody knows where to put their money in the NFC West. We got another big one this week that's kind of going to allow things to maybe, be a little more clear in the division. We got the Rams, we got the Niners, we got McVay, we got Shanahan. It seems to be a slam dunk based on previous results, but how do you see this thing shaking down, especially with the emergence of Christian McCaffrey and the trade over there to San Francisco?
Yeah, well, I think this will be the week that he gets a little more fully integrated into the offense. They've got a lot of interesting parts on that offense. If they can get it together, it'll be an exciting team to watch. As far as I'm concerned, they're the number 2 offense in the NFC. I don't know what's that saying, to be honest with you, but they're the number 2 offense in the NFC. But it's an interesting situational spot here because the numbers favor the 49ers. I believe the 49ers are the better team. Quite honestly, there's 4 teams in the NFL that coming into the season, you thought, hey, these guys are going to be electrifying, right? But have been broken and busted offenses. You're talking about the Denver Broncos, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, listen to these names. Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers with Green Bay, and Matthew Stafford, defending champion, Los Angeles Rams. These were teams coming into the season, you were like, hey, these teams are going to be electric. And their offenses are broken and busted. And there's an old saying, you follow the trend until the bend in the end. In other words, until it starts changing, you go in that direction, okay? The Rams offense is busted. I mean, last in the NFL in yards per rush, 4th worst in total yards per play, in quarterback sack percentage on offense. I mean, really, like bottom 5, bottom 10 in most important statistical categories on offense. But it is an interesting situational spot because they're coming off a bye. They just played the Rams a few weeks ago. The Rams had a really tough scheduling spot where after that Monday night game that they beat the Rams, they had to go across the country to Carolina. Then they stayed in West Virginia because it was like, why go back to San Francisco just to fly back to Atlanta? That didn't work out too well. I guess, I don't know, maybe the food in West Virginia wasn't that good. I mean, yeah, it's not known for its cuisine. Let's just, say what it is. And then last week against the Kansas City Chiefs, now we got to go to the Rams. So it's a tough situational spot for the 49ers, but I'm going to lean towards the better team, the better defense. They're getting their pieces back. Trent Williams is back on the offensive line. I'm going to lean towards the San Francisco 49ers. What's crazy? Everyone's looking up at the Seahawks in the division. What's going on here? I mean, who
Bet on Geno Smith
before the season?
Geno Smith or Kirk Cousins. Your pinky depends on it.
Hey, look, you got Jimmy G, you got Matt Stafford, right? You got who am I missing here? Kyler Murray, and of all of them, Geno Smith is outplaying them all. It's why we love the NFL.
That's why I get betting tips from you. None of my stuff. I can't make sense of any of this. Turning to the college ranks now. Another busy weekend, and there's going to be a lot of eyes on Arizona because Arizona's taking on USC, and can the Trojans kind of get things locked in and try to make a run at the postseason here and finish the Pac-12 strong? Arizona, I don't know if they actually feel the defense. What do you see when you look at the numbers there?
They left the defensive coordinator at home.
Hey, you can't score unless you have the ball, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hurry up, let them score so we can get the ball back and score.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because that's actually a very good situational spot that I love. It's called double-digit conference home dog. I know that's a lot of gabagool to digest all at once, so let me try to break it up. Double-digit dog means you're getting 10 points or more, okay? So obviously, if you're in a tight game, you're getting 10 points, that's a gift, right? If you're in kind of a back-and-forth game where the Wildcats are never really in it, but they're never really out of it, at the end of the game, you're getting 15.5 points, you end up getting the ball last and scoring, and that's that. And then you have the backdoor cover, which is a gift to all dog players, okay? And I'll give you a perfect example of it. USC was up 41-14 in the 4th quarter at Stanford earlier this season. They're up 27 points. The game's over. They won. They don't care. What happens? Stanford scores 2 meaningless late 4th quarter touchdowns. Meaningless, meaningful to some, right? If you're getting 15.5 points. And they lose 41-28. Who cares if you're USC? But if you're a backer of plus 15.5 with the dog, that's a winner. And listen, with spread bets, they pay you the same on the backdoor cover as they do on a blowout, okay? Doesn't matter. There's no shame in going to the window and cashing a ticket on a backdoor cover, trust me. So you have the double-digit dog. They're home, obviously, playing in front of the home crowd. This will probably be the most eyes on a Arizona game nationally all season, right? And then in conference, so your familiarity with the team. Now, I know with the transfer portal, and obviously this is Lincoln Riley's first year, that's not as prevalent this year, okay? But still, Jedd Fisch, he's going to be scouting this game because he knows he's playing against USC every year and Lincoln Riley every year. when he's looking at game tape, it's against teams like Arizona State, USC played, right? So familiar opponents, so you get a better feel. And look, let's be honest. If you went to Arizona, one of the reasons for going to that school is you get to play teams like USC. You're not going there to play Colorado or to play Washington State. You're going there to have a chance to play and beat USC. So you get up for games like this. They've lost 9 in a row. Last win, 2012, week 9. 2022, week 9. I don't know. Maybe the stars are aligned. But look, getting the 15.5 points. Jordan Addison, the star receiver for the USC, he got banged up in the last game. Maybe he doesn't play. I mean, you're favored by 15.5 points anyway. By the way, USC, 72nd in the nation in defensive yards per play. And Delora, the quarterback for Arizona, he's top 20 in passing yards per attempt. So you know that, like you said, their offense, you can always get back in on that backdoor cover. So I like it. Here's the other thing, by the way. USC is 5-2. Arizona's 4-3. Now you're probably like, "What, Nick? What are you talking about? Don't be a student." USC is 6-1. Arizona's 3-4. No, against the spread, USC is 5-2. Arizona's 4-3. That's what we're playing. We're not playing a win. We're playing a cover. So now the 4-3 team at home to a 5-2 team, that doesn't sound like that bad a deal, as opposed to 6-1 to 3-4. So I like Arizona. Take those 15.5 points. Back door should be open.
And finally, do you have a set of trash cans I can borrow from my Astros for the World Series? You know a guy.
Hey, I know some guys in the waste management business, but I'll put in a call. By the way, look, if you want to I do a few more picks. If you want to get all my picks, we have a show, New York Knicks Picks, on YouTube. You can catch me on Twitter as well, NYKnicks718. I'll have a few more picks for this week. I went 1-3 last week, so the tide should be turning. Looking for a 3-1 week. But you can find our show. It drops on Fridays. New York Knicks Picks on YouTube. We have our own little YouTube channel. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
All right, we'll be tuning in on Fridays, and hopefully you'll join us again next week. We'll make it to next week. And leave me with this. What is it? We followed the trend until the what?
Follow the trend until the bend in the end, okay? Listen, you never know. That 3-0 streak could end up being 9-0. Don't stop that. Don't stop. Keep going with that trend. Once it starts changing, then you get off. Be ahead of the curve, not behind it.
The Extra Point Podcast is a production of Free TV, CBS 5, and azfamily.com in Phoenix, Arizona.